Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's 6:37 p.m. on a Friday. I'm about to go become a real human and do humanly things such as eating, socializing, and leaving my apartment for the first time today. But before we do that, a fan fiction written by the DayKnights themselves from the Day9 TV chat. I will open it up upon this screen, and just so you know, here is me looking at you in chat. Here's the webcam. Here is the fanfiction right here. Credit goes to Aledalier. Aledalier, your name. Urban Gaming Elite, Mega Grumpy Troll and Manbon. Written on 7/25/2014. It was a dark... Shit, that's not what it says. That's not what it says. I already messed up. I am illiterate, but we're going to try again. Okay. It was a cold, dark Friday afternoon. Sean sat quietly alone in his room in front of his computer, his back hunched and his eyes squinting at the monitor. I think you should have added in a few other things. A meal from 4 days ago, encrusted under his fingertips. His hairs locked together, for the natural ooze he secreted twisted them and dried and congealed in a manner that made combs not for wanting to be on his back. You may as well just go all in on shitting on me if you go for hunched and squinting at his monitor. The pitter-patter of raindrops could be heard through the creaking windows. Sean was drearily reviewing his latest submissions for Fun Day Monday. No, I wasn't. I don't do that. That's up to Trumpet and Shashank and Gowerly. Those, they take care of that. Not going to do it. Anyways, Sean was drearily reviewing his latest submissions for Fun Day Monday. His hectic work schedule had taken a slight toll on his ability to stay awake and focus, as opposed to focused. And daydreams of the second season of Spellslingers filled his mind. Why would they do that? I'm done with the recording. I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what occurred. Why would I daydream about it? That happened in June. June. I was born on that month. Same day as Helen Keller. Okay. Along with his thoughts of getting a comforting back rub from the local Vietnamese massage parlor after a hard night's work at tomorrow night's Nation Wars. That's exact. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Suddenly, he heard an oddly familiar voice behind him, but he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. New paragraph. Tickle, tickle. In quotes. He lazily turned around, but nobody seemed to be there. Nobody should be there. He lives alone in his spacious apartment. Perhaps it was his tired consciousness that spawned voices in his head. Nevertheless, he hesitantly responded. Oh, shit. Oh, all four of you are assholes. Okay. Whew. Nevertheless, he hesitantly responded. Manfred, is that you? Please tell me that's you, baby. No one seemed to be there. The dark halls of Brennenburg Castle came to mind. Is that what happened? Tickle, tickle, said the voice again. Closer sounding this time. What? Who's there? Show yourself, or face the might of my deck, Sean exclaimed, as he whipped out his large mono-white magic deck. You know it. Oh, you know my mono-white magic deck got whipped out in a heartbeat, because when I'm afraid, I flare my penis. That's what I do. It made a debate class very awkward, and playing Amnesia nearly tipped the desk over. Anyways. A hollow threat due to his pacifist nature. The deck shot out of Sean's hand in his rushed panic. Sweat was starting to pour from his head. Was it fear that made him sweat, or something else? A soft chuckle came from the corner of the room. As he turned to take a glance, he could make out a small, thin, ominous silhouette edging towards him. Dread filled his eyes and fear his heart. The many hairs on Sean's arm raised in tandem. Not the hairs on Sean's arm, the many hairs. The plentiful plethora of follicular lotsitude. Many hairs on Sean's arm raised in tandem. a physical manifestation of his terror. He stood up from his chair, the chuckle becoming a slow and steady breath, coming ever closer. Sean's heart started to race. Could it be? Was this really happening? Or was it a sleep-deprived hallucination? His sweat dripped down his head and stung his eyes, blurring his vision. Felicity? ? Sean whimpered. Sean whimpered because apparently my penis has scampered out of my hand and is somewhere in the apartment complex. Oh, by the way, Brennenburg Castle. Anyways, let's come back to the story. But Sean knew it wasn't her. The silhouette was far too tall for the petite Felicity and far too imposing. Sean scurried to the closed door, the only way out of his apartment. He opened the door to the hallway. Todd? Todd, is that you? Screamed Sean. The deathly silence echoed through the halls of his dimly lit apartment. Surely he was alone, he thought. The figure started approaching Sean. He backed away from the figure, his head dripping with sweat. Sean frantically grasped for something to defend, I don't know, like a deck, himself from the menace that stalked him down the ever-shrinking hallways. He sensed a hand reaching out. Sean wasn't scared, not anymore. He could tell that the figure wasn't going to hurt him. Not if he didn't want it to. But then again, maybe he wanted it to. Am I indecisive or are the writers indecisive? Are you guys pasting notes to each other in the Google Doc? Be like, maybe he wants to be hurt. Maybe he doesn't want to be hurt. We'll take care of it later. But let's not talk about Todd, alright? Look. Let's find out what happens. Filled with a new sense of confidence, Sean stopped backing away from the figure and reached his hand forward to meet the figure. Figure. Their fingers intertwined, and suddenly it made sense to Sean. His lack of sleep had clouded his mind. He knew who stood before him. To be continued. That's how it ends. What? God, that really is a fanfic, because that sucks. Let's recap. Let's find out what happened. Sean is sitting in a dark, damp apartment with too many fruit flies. I'm hunched, and I don't care about reality. I don't care about the pungent odor just annihilating my nose. It's gross. I got a computer, though. I got an iPad. I got my iPad pod phone. It's not a big deal. So I'm doing this, and all of a sudden, someone says tickle, tickle, and I'm not really that alarmed. I'm like, what is it? And then I take my dick out, okay? So there I am, penis in hand, and I don't do anything to my penis, but it's just suddenly gone. And I begin to start to talk to Manfred. I'm like, Manfred, can you talk? And the bunny amazingly doesn't talk because it's a stuffed bunny. Following this, I begin to scurry around my house. And the words that are used to describe me are not really words used to describe a human. It would be something that you described like a troll in a boiler room. So there I'm like, ugh. And then I just decide it's my girlfriend, Felicity. Hey, baby, is that you? Which was my second guess. Isn't that weird? I decided that Manfred would be the first best one to check. And I'm so glad it wasn't Felicity, because if she popped out of a closet with a present and was like, Manfred, what the fuck? What in the fuck? And I'd be like, baby, 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 baby. We'll find my penis, and then we'll make it better. It's gone right now. So, after this, I open a door, and then I just begin to feel fine. I feel fine. I feel just great. But anyways, the story's over. That was an accurate recap. Also, Brennenburg Castle.